So who's lost $1 this week? And who's found $1 this week?
This is going to be good.
Oh, boy.
I'll go first, just because.
That'll be a short thing then. There you go.
Wow. I feel the love. So here's the thing. In Reuters, I sent you guys this article. Reuters said that Tesla, you know, Elon's communist company, has a secret group that tries to squelch any Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, anything bad said about Tesla's battery or car. They have a group that goes out and tries to kill the story, which I thought was fascinating. Wow. It's in Reuters. If you guys want to look it up, you can look it up, that people that are listening. So to me, that is definitely a lost dollar. And today it was announced that the Tesla owners are suing Tesla for the battery because I guess it's not getting the mileage and whatnot that it's supposed to get.
Well, I'd say Tesla it's guaranteed to get them to the end of the street. I think that's
it. Yeah. So Tesla, basically, cute idea, but I think now the truth is starting to come out. So that's a lost dollar.
Censorship is also that's a lost dollar.
That's a lost dollar.
The rage, Kurt. That's exactly what Kurt was talking about.
Yep.
You know, this kind of.
Who's next, John? You haven't said anything all day. Let's see what you got. This will be good.
Well, okay. So I don't know. It's a big dollar. I don't know if it's a dollar loss, but in Canada, Canada is prosecuting, convicted a priest, Arthur Pulowski or something like his Polish name.
Good with that name, pal.
Because talk about a police state. It's already a police state, Canada, with some of its laws. He just for preaching the Bible and supporting the truckers during the the COVID issue. This guy can go to prison for 10 years. It just blew my mind that.
Wow.
I don't think he's. I know maybe Kurt has a different opinion, but might expand on that. But I don't think this guy is such a big risk that he needs to go to prison. And second, there's the laws that enabled his prosecution just blew my mind. I think that's a huge loss. Kurt,
I don't disagree entirely with the whole police state thing. I think that whatever the heck the government was doing, they came in late and were reactionary. And now that's just the knock-on effect is things like this that don't make sense, right? And the country's not happy, right? Is this guy a threat worth 10 years? No, definitely not. But the problem is, it's fairly deep, it's fairly broad. Will anything come of it? That's up for debate. But it's not something that to me makes any sense and nothing that I would be happy with.
Wow.
Okay. And on that note, what's your lost and found?
Well, so you guys said it before, and David found the article that there was. So last week's found dollar for me was the room temperature superconductor, which was announced by a couple South Korean research papers. But now there's a lot of skepticism because people tried to make it, and it didn't quite work as planned yet. So there's a lot of. So now that's a lost dollar. They call it it's not yet verified. And apparently this happens a lot in superconductor research, so much so that they call it a USO, which is an unidentified superconducting object.
Yep.
So apparently this is common in superconductor research. We shall see if it actually plays out.
Kurt, what do you have for us?
This is a little bit left field. It's from a company called CRDL. They basically what they've done is they made a wooden object, is basically a shape that is it creates through touch. It creates music and vibrations, and it's actually meant for people who have things like dementia, autism, mental disabilities, and physical impairments as a form of therapy. And it's just a very, very, it's a beautiful form that people just, you can just touch, and multiple people can touch it. And it's just creates an environment that helps them, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this group definitely needs that. So, all right. And just so you know, that was not out of left field, because out of left field is coming up. So let us buckle in for what Mr. Dave is going to give us. There you go. All right, Mr. David, what are you going to talk about this week? I can't wait.
Two things. I don't normally do two things, but two things. One is, I'll get on to the most important one in a moment, but the first one I found this week is that I don't know if anybody knows about the history of vanilla. It's incredibly difficult to grow. Mm-hmm. It grows predominantly, I think, on Mauritius, where it's so valuable, this stuff, that they actually have it in, guarded compounds with armed, guards outside, because there's so much value to it. And it's incredibly difficult to grow. And now somewhere in Holland, in a place unnamed, they've actually now, for the first time, been able to produce good volumes of vanilla. And he's already got 70,000 top restaurants in the world which have said, yeah, we'll be customers tomorrow, because it's worth literally almost the price of gold, this stuff. So, and what he's going to grow this week will make him into a multi-millionaire. So that was for me most definitely a found dollar.
Okay.
More vanilla. Let's do it.
Yeah, more vanilla, real vanilla, because it's. I was absolutely shocked. If you look into vanilla and what it's worth and how difficult it is, it's amazing. It's truly amazing.
All right.
Yeah, 2 ounce little bottle costs like $15.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If you
Instead
buy
of that song, pour some sugar on me, it should be pour some vanilla on me. I like it. So.
Yeah, well, actually, the vanilla sticks themselves are worth a considerable amount of money.
Cool.
So anyway, but that was okay. That didn't sort of.
There's another one, is it there? There's another one coming.
There is another one, and this is called. This is a Dutch company called Beermate.
Who is it?
Beermate. So literally, as it's
Beermate.
Yeah, Beermate. Beer as in alcohol beer. And
Beermate.
Beermate.
No, Beermate.
Beermate. Oh.
Beermate.
Well, if you could speak English, that would help us out. Okay, so go ahead with the Beermate.
Okay, so what they've done, which I think was absolute genius, and they've just been refunded here, and they want to go ASAP into the US. So anybody who can get behind this is going to make a fortune. But they've actually developed self-catering beer vending machines for festivals. So you can actually have a beer event container, which you can have if you've got a club or you're just doing a small event, all self-contained. So you take this thing wherever you go. They've got an indoor one for larger events on wheels, which you can just roll in, and this is a complete vending machine. And they've got a big integrated ones, which is a bit like an ATM, really. So if you have a permanent place within, festival hall or a sports ground or whatever, you can actually have these integrated, fit in the wall ATM-like beer, self-service beer vending machines.
It's like the old. You remember the cigarette vending machines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only this one gives you liquid gold as opposed to
smoky gold.
Smoky gold, yeah. So,
those weren't too weird. Those were like almost normal stuff this time, David.
Yeah,
it was all about like the fun GDL.
I've been reading all the thousands of comments that we get.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Millions.
And people say, why can't you be more serious on this show? So I thought, well,
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah,
you're calling for the death of the bartender, though.
Oh God!
Yes and no, actually, Michael. Because the thing, if you can imagine, like if you have this at a festival, you literally would take it there in a container. It's all self-contained. People just have via their app or wherever they can get their drink out of it. No person comes anywhere near it.
How about send them to the poorhouse?
No, that's the vanilla, but it's
oh God.
Yeah, well, They've had the monopoly for so
here's
many
to
years.
The next year. Yeah. Here's to the next year.
Yeah.
It'll be all
Vanilla, it would
potatoes for
appear.
them.
Yeah.
Vanilla is that people have been trying to grow this stuff outside of Mauritius for centuries, and they haven't been successful. So this guy's like struck gold, the Dutch guy. Yeah.
Remember what happened to the Netherlands at the death of the tulip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got all the
Now they're
dikes
doing
put,
it to
all
them.
all those people put their fingers in the dikes. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
It was in all the
Well, it
papers
was
and
interesting, I
books.
think, because just as the very last thing about that, it was very interesting
Of
because
course.
Dutch labour is the labour costs here are really high, and a lot of the greenhouses are all super high tech.
Right.
And this one particular guy who's been growing this vanilla, he said, "Well, why do we have all this technology and all this cost to produce cucumbers and flowers and tomatoes, which basically anybody could grow? And why should we not dedicate all of this expensive green technology into producing very, very costly and
Interesting.
a product with lots of profit on it?" So there you go.
Well, with that, we're leaving. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and watching. If you like the show, subscribe, leave your comments. We say it every week, but it does help the show out. It makes these guys feel good to know that you love them. Not really. But anyway, subscribe and like. Don't forget, you can see Bandicoot live on our live feed. And other than that, we'll be back next Saturday morning with God knows what topics. And Sam Altman, if you're out there, remember, come and be a guest on our show. Because John thinks you don't have the balls to be a guest on our show. He's texting me privately and goes, Sam doesn't have the guts or the balls to be on our show.
But
no members.
No members.
Yes, yeah. Sam, you may have to wait because I think Elon's coming on first.
Yeah, and then also Michael Collins is coming back. So these are more important people than your make-believe thing. Anyway, everybody, don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you for hanging out with us for this hour and our goofiness, and we will see you all next week. Thank you. David, take us home.